I'm watching every MCU movie in chronological order until Avengers Doomsday is released, and this week I watched Captain America Civil War. Now, Cap has to be the worst and the best friend you've ever had. Alright, so we're back with the Avengers, doing Avengers things, and we're following Captain America, Falcon, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch, kind of picking up the last bits of Hydra, trying to take them out. And the main guy they're after right now is Crossbones. He's causing some havoc. He's trying to release a bioweapon, something of a mix of probably COVID and AIDS. It's a big deal, right? And so shit goes down where people accidentally die. Now, was that meant to happen? No. But when people accidentally die, everybody throws a fit. And from that fit comes the Sokovia Accords, basically saying that the Avengers are going to be running through the government first before going on these missions. Now, this divides the Avengers, of course, where there's Team Cap and there's Team Iron Man. Cap, not for the Accords, Iron Man for the Accords. And that's basically the gist of this movie, where there's two sides, you have to pick a side. And it's Captain America's movie, so I think you know where this is going. Now, let me tell you what I liked about this. First off, I like that the division was there between these characters. I like that us as the audience have to pick who we're siding with. Do we go with Cap, who's really going with what he believes in? Or are we going to go with Iron Man, who feels like he owes the public that deed, that promise of safety? Especially with all the shit that he's done, he's the kind of guy that needs to be put in check, to be honest with you.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And Captain America really stood on business in this movie. His dialogue was great. His fight scenes were great. Everything about what he did was peak Captain America in this movie. And funny enough, he isn't perfect in this movie either. He has a lot of flaws. He's going against his friend to save a friend. And though it's not necessarily the right thing to do, it's probably a very relatable thing to do. You're kind of giving in to somebody that you really care about, and you're bending your morals a little bit here. And speaking of not perfect, Iron Man, in my opinion, was the best in this movie. The best in a long time. If you've been watching some of my past videos, I'm kind of sick of Tony Stark at this point. But in this movie, he actually gained a little bit more respect from me. He didn't come off as such a douchebag. He felt like this is the step in the right direction for him as a character with growth and things like that. The only unfortunate side is he's on the wrong side. He's just not on the side I'm rooting for. And he's trying to follow the rules in this movie, which is kind of new for Tony. He gets to a point where then he's kind of brought back into that old Tony, and it's appreciated a lot more. Something else that I liked was the fights. Now, all the fights were really great, but obviously nothing tops the Captain America, Bucky versus Iron Man. Now, I know some people will look at that like, that's cheating, 2v1, but Tony Stark's literally in $1 billion tank. You could shut the hell up. And Bucky has a metal arm, yeah. Okay, so what? Iron Man shot it off. Give me a break. Cap only has a shield too. We're not comparing the same things here. We're talking about a billionaire that can literally analyze your fight patterns and kick your ass and also blow off a metal arm. What are we talking about? It was a fair fight. 2v1, sure, whatever. Go cry to your mom. I don't care. And also, the side characters in this movie were really great. I appreciated all of them. Some more than others, some not so much. But overall, they were all pretty good. And when I'm talking about good side characters, I'm probably going to be talking about Ant-Man, Black Panther, General Ross. I'm going to go Black Widow, Bucky, Rhodey, and I'll do Hawkeye. And if I didn't name somebody else that in this movie, it's probably because they weren't my favorite. With Zemo, I didn't even get to touch on the villain of this movie. Zemo was great in how he set up all the Avengers, kind of pitting them against each other. He was a brilliant mastermind behind this whole plan on getting them to divide. And he didn't have superpowers. It was his intellect that got him to this point where he destroys the team. Now, there are some things that I didn't necessarily like about this movie, and we can start with the basics. I think the Accords were kind of stupid. Now, General Ross brought up some examples of how the Avengers are dangerous, citing the attack on New York, Washington, D.C., Sokovia, and then this latest thing with Lagos, right? Now, look, New York, an alien invasion is their fault? Come on now. That was Loki. If anything, I'm gonna throw that one on Thor. But really, that was aliens. That was Loki. That was something else. So General Ross,
Shut your
Washington D.C. I don't know if he remembers, but that was Hydra. That was Shield. Where were you?
Shut your
Sokovia. That one was Tony's fault. That was 100%. That's Avengers' fault right there. If you're gonna group them all with Tony, that's the Avengers. My bad. All right, my bad. And with Lagos, if the Avengers didn't intervene, we'd be dealing with another COVID. That's COVID before COVID. So what do you want? You can't win them all. If I'm gonna talk about some characters that let me down, number one, I gotta go with Vision. To me, it's like, come on, dog. You're like Ultron 2.0. You're even better than Ultron. You're telling me you couldn't come up with a better solution than these Accords? Really? I'm gonna say Wanda was also a letdown just because it felt like she whines every movie. Anytime she needs to lock in, there's tears coming. It's like you have to convince her to be a superhero every movie. And last but not least, and I know I'm gonna get some hate for this, but I didn't think Spider-Man delivered on this movie here. Now, was I excited to see Spider-Man come back on the big screen in the MCU? Joining this universe, of course. And, I did like him, but there's things about the comics versus the movies, and I'm trying to separate the two, but I did wish that he was on Captain America's side, at least switching sides like he did in the comics, but that's me nitpicking, all right? Aside from the characters and the story, I do think the CGI got a little bit shaky at times. I felt like we're kind of taking steps back from compared to the other movies that I already saw. With the airport scene, I just felt like the CGI was really off. And it kind of takes me out of the movie, when I can notice things, pretty easily. It just takes me out of the scene, the moment. And, it kind of sucks. It takes away from the story. And, when you see Spider-Man, he looks good initially, but on this rewatching, it's like, damn, that's a lot of CGI. It doesn't look practical at all. Now, when I say Steve Rogers is the best and worst friend, when you're talking about the best, he will literally ride or die for you. When it comes to Bucky, this is something that I argue online all the time. I think Bucky is a loose cannon from this point on. I don't think that he's really worth saving. He was the deadliest Hydra agent for a while, changed the course of history with his crimes, and Steve is like, nah, that's my boy. I gotta take care of him. That's insane to me. I don't care how people phrase it. Oh, he was under mind control. He didn't have any choice. I don't care. Yo, he did that. We're not arguing with the facts here. Look, mind controlled, yes, he still did that. He is dangerous. And he even showed it in this movie when Zemo was able to tap into that Hydra controlling, thing with just saying the words, and he got control of the Winter Soldier again. Nah, that's too dangerous for me. I don't care who you are. Lock the boy up, put him down, whatever you need to do. He's a loose cannon. We can't have that around here. Worst friend, if you're looking at the flip side of Steve Rogers, brother, you need to tell me who killed my parents if you know who it was. If we're friends at all, if you're even a decent person, you should tell somebody, hey, I know who got your parents. Now, the crazy thing is, yeah, it was your boy, but you really should have still said something. It doesn't matter if that was your boy. This is Tony Stark, T. Stark. Now, I don't like Iron Man that much, but he deserves that much respect at least. Cap saying that, oh, he was under mind control, free Bucky. Are you out of your fucking mind? No, Bucky is too dangerous to have around. Throw his ass in cryo sleep, whatever the hell you need to do. Now, if it's wartime, it's time to start shooting people, go ahead and say, all the words that you need to say and tell them, point over there. Look, I was Team Cap, if I'm gonna keep it 100% transparent. But not telling Iron Man that, hey, I know who smoked your parents, reasonable crash out from Tony Stark. All right, so where do I rank Captain America Civil War? I have to give this one an S tier. I think it carried a lot of the story elements that I like. The characters were great. Yes, the CGI kind of messed things up at times, but looking at this as a whole, this is a very big point in the MCU, and I gotta say, they did deliver. Now, was it comparable to the comics? Absolutely not, but again, I'm watching cinematic universe. I shouldn't be comparing it too much to the comics. Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Steve Rogers is a good friend, a bad friend? Overall, I think I've stated my sense pretty clear. He's kind of cut down in the middle. Depends on what side you're on. But anyway, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to be dropping more MCU reviews like this one every week. And if you guys have a movie that I should review next, let me know in the comments. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one.